Welcome to the HP Online Teaching Assistant, an initiative of HP Education. Today we will explain how to use Whiteboard, Microsoft's collaborative teacher digital canvas. In this educational session, we will look at how to download and use Whiteboard, along with its sharing options. Today's goals are: install Whiteboard on your computer if you do not already have it installed, understand the uses of Whiteboard in education, represent different ideas with the resources offered in Whiteboard, and how to share this board. Before we get started, I want to clarify that Whiteboard is completely free and that there are two versions of Whiteboard, one for online and the other for desktop. The online version is available on the Office 365 website and is also the one that we will use in Microsoft Teams. We will only be able to draw and make sketches. The other version is the one that is in the Microsoft Store. It's the desktop version, where we can do a lot of other things that we will see later. It is the most complete and installable version. So I'm going to show my screen. I already have the desktop version of Whiteboard installed, so I will just type in Whiteboard. And here it is. What can we use Microsoft Whiteboard for? We can use it as a teacher's digital canvas, or we can use it as a collaborative canvas. But there are also other educational uses, such as create a brainstorming board, defining a project, an assignment, storytelling, which is about telling stories. You can also take notes, review sentences, analyze poems, examine any content that the teacher wants to highlight. We can also use it for design planning and for organizing work teams. When we log in with our Office account or our Microsoft account, everything we do on our Whiteboard remains saved in the cloud. Now, what I'm going to do is create a new Whiteboard. We can do it by clicking here, and we get a blank Whiteboard. Then we have different features, such as drawing, text, add notes, add an image, and we also have the option to insert other content. It could be grid notes, PDFs, or Word documents. We have a lot of possibilities. In case you have a touchscreen computer, or if you have a tablet, you can draw directly on the screen. For example, if I write, it can be seen here on the canvas. I can use the rule. Now you see that with the shapes, when I draw any of them, it automatically draws a square or a triangle. That feature can be activated here, in 3 lines. We should make sure that this option, Pen Input for Shapes, is activated. So at the moment, I'm the only one on this board. I can also include text. This is important if we want to write. We can also add a note or give a like. This, as you see, gets bigger as we write and add content. We can also change the color of the note, whether we want it to be pink or yellow. And from here, we can share the board with whoever we want inside our school community. By the way, on the board, we move around with the mouse. We move like this, and to enlarge or reduce the size of the whiteboard, we move the scroll wheel of the mouse backwards or forwards. We can add images we have in the library, or from the Bing search engine, or by using the camera of your computer. We can add any image, like the one we have here. This food pyramid, for example. What we're going to do is delete the content that we have here so that it doesn't get in our way. How do we delete it? We can use, here in the first tool, the lasso, which allows us to select things from the canvas, and in this case, remove them. Now let's imagine that we want to explain the food pyramid. We would take the pencil tool or select the text option and indicate that this corresponds to cereals, bread, pasta. Then this here corresponds to fruits and vegetables, and so on. We could also use the list option. We can put fruits here, and we make a list of fruits, apple, orange, grapes, etc. We can move the list to any place on our whiteboard. Another important thing you can do is place stickers. We can find the option in this plus sign of the menu down here. Moving over it, we see different sticker options. Here we have one of the planets. I created a whiteboard here, which is the one that I will share with someone from my organization. And here we can collaborate. We could input a text, in this case, Mercury. Here we can copy with Ctrl+C, then Ctrl+V, if you don't want to be creating texts all the time, and so on. So now, I'm going to invite a student to this board. Remember that I will only be able to share this board with users that are within my own organization. Whiteboard can be used with a Microsoft account or an Office 365 account, but when sharing this board, we have to share it with people who are at the same level. That is to say, if I'm using my personal Microsoft account, I will only be able to share the whiteboard with people who are also using their personal Microsoft accounts and not Office 365 accounts. So I go here and I look for the person and invite them. Before I do, I need to decide if I want that person to enter with a read-only option or if I want them to be able to edit what's on my board. Another way that also allows us to share is from the three dots. We select the option Create Link to Share. This would activate it, and I could copy that link to send it by email to everyone in my class, or via Teams if I want to work as a team with everyone. On the board, I can already see my student who is now drawing. If we invite more users, we can see here who is collaborating on the board, and this would now be a collaborative board. We can then use this board either personally to make any type of annotation or also share it. This is the great advantage of Whiteboard. I already had mentioned that we can insert other documents, for example, a PDF. I go here, I look for it on my computer. This one. I can choose which page of the PDF I want to add to the board and select it. You can insert all of the pages or insert just selected ones. All the elements I put on my board can be made bigger or smaller. So I'm working on a PDF. I can come here to the pencil and highlight a sentence and do like this. Little things in the PDF, for example. I also have a highlighter here, and I can also delete all or part of what I've written like this. Another important thing I also wanted to comment on is that we can copy and paste images without having to download them. We can do this with a screenshot. Here's an example. We're going to Flaticon, which is an image library resource. We search for planets, and I want this one. There is a command that is Shift plus Windows plus S, which turns the screen gray. We select what we want to copy and go back to our whiteboard. Here we're going to paste it with Ctrl plus V. You can see that I already have it here as if it were a sticker, so I can move it or enlarge it. Finally, I want to show you some templates in Whiteboard, as they are very useful for working with your students. If I click the plus sign in the Templates option, we have Brainstorm, Plan Projects, and you go here to see all the other types of templates. To work as a team, I especially like this one, Brainstorm, because from here we can add notes. We add the necessary ones. It's where we can write down ideas and the people we invite can complement the work. So here we type, what can we do with Whiteboard? And in the notes, we write down the ideas. We can create diagrams, analysis, online class, and give a like to those ideas that we prefer. The online version of Whiteboard, which is the one we'll use in Teams, we said did not have all these features. If we go to a board that we have created in the online version, we will see the content, but we can only draw. It just lets us do sketches and delete. We can't move the images, and we can't write text or edit it. Microsoft is working on this, but it's still to be done. If you're going to work with Whiteboard, it can be done better from the desktop version. And then, if you want to teach something, or for a meeting in Teams, do it from a whiteboard you've already created. Well, basically, this is Whiteboard. Thank you for watching this video, offered by HP Online Teaching Assistant, an initiative of HP Education.